I'm at Dicker Precision Components in Hailsham. I'm with Mark Love, who's the Managing Director. Mark, you just recently purchased this Biglia twin turret double Y-axis machine from White House Machine Tools. It replaced a previous machine. Why did you purchase it?
There's a couple of reasons. One, I needed to replace the machine because our older machine was starting to be, not efficient. And there was this one available. We went and had a look at it. I'm very impressed with the build quality and what they said we would do. Obviously a bit nervous of buying a machine of this value, having no experience.
I think that's half the story here. This is a big investment for your company. You're very busy, which is always good news, but you still want to make sure you make the right choice. Now before we come back onto the machine and why the Biglia was selected, I want to show our viewers what you're actually making and some of the savings that you made by opting for this machine. So if you could pick up maybe one of these parts, Mark.
This is a typical part we are producing on this machine at the moment. This is all done in one op complete. Originally it was done on one spindle complete, and there was other operations to follow on that. We're now doing it complete on this machine, fully deburred, minimal handling, and at least a 50% cycle time reduction.
And you get a quality component off without any compromise because you know you're doing everything in one operation.
Absolutely. And also this lends itself to running lights out, which we do. So the machine's running 24 hours a day, pretty much, and over the weekend, which then frees up a lot of capacity.
Tell us about this slot, because how you were doing this before as well, you were having problems, but now you've got the Y-axis, the fully functional Y-axis, you're able to get better results on that slot, aren't you?
Yes, we are. Because of the Y-axis, we now generate the slot, so you get no mismatch from a cutter moving to the centre and then your C-axis moving around to go back up again. So you get a perfect slot, which makes the job a lot nicer anyway.
Then there's a part number 2 here. Now this has already gone through one of its, this has had a further operation since the machining, hasn't it? But again, tell us about how you do this now compared to how you did it before.
Yeah, now this has obviously been blasted at this stage. Again, this was all done on one side. We now transfer and we split the operations up. So instead of drilling the holes from one side, we do it on the back end, and we're trying to split the time up from both spindles, and therefore reducing the time it takes.
So really, you're trying to kind of balance it out as well, are you?
That's right. You've got to start looking at jobs in a different way of doing it.
Because your experience in the machine shop, you've got Y-axis turning centres already, but you've never had one with 2 turrets and 2 Y-axis.
That's correct. Yes, and with this machine, with the second spindle moving out of the way, you get extra clearances, which I think will help in future projects.
Okay, let's talk about the machine once we've just summarised on these. So just for summary, how much is the cycle time saving on these 2 parts as a result of this installation? How much quicker are you making these 2 components?
This is the first part we've done on the job, which White House helped us. They turnkeyed it for us. That was 5 minutes, 10 seconds the old way, and then there was other operations after that. It's now coming off complete and that's over 2 minutes. So there's a great cost saving.
Don't need to be a mathematician to work out there's a big saving there. And is it similar on the second part too?
The second part is very similar. It's not quite as efficient as this one, but it's still a huge saving of the way we did it originally.
Right, now the machine. Okay, so let's get into this, because there are a lot of twin turret machines available in the UK and the global marketplace. Biglia does have a reputation for providing high quality, well built twin turret turning centres. Beyond that, what were the things that you liked about this machine that is the reason it's sitting here now?
There's a couple of reasons. Again, like I said, the sub-spindle, you have extra clearances because it moves out of the way. We like the way it moved.
So that sub-spindle, just to point this out, a lot of sub-spindles are in line with the front spindle, so they're directly opposing, which means that there is more, you've got less, you're more restricted in the space in the machine, whereas this sub-spindle drops away to give you more space, correct?
That's right, yeah.
So it means potentially your working environment is bigger.
Yeah, you've got a bigger working envelope, and the more clearances you've got, I guess, with a twin turret, the better, really.
Then what about the turrets themselves? Because I know you're doing some quite high-speed milling.
Yeah, we've gone for a couple of optional extras. The mill drives we've gone up 2 times, so we've got 8,000 RPM on most of the cutters, which means we can now run dedicated alley cutters for doing this sort of work. And then there's a 16th cutter we use for doing a very tiny slot, so we've gotten to a 12,000 option on that.
So really you're milling these parts as fast as you would have been doing on your machining centre as well?
Absolutely, yeah. If you were doing them on a dedicated mill, you'd be running them sort of speeds.
And not only is that giving you a quicker cycle time, but is it better for tool life?
I think so, yeah, because we're running the cutters at the speeds they should be going at. The cutter lives are, gone up quite a bit.
And how have you got your head round programming parts like this? I know Whitehouse did the turnkey for you, but now you're kind of on your own.
Yeah, we're on our own now. We're not on our own, but there's still plenty of backup and support.
But you want to row your own boat. You want to be able to get parts in here and be efficient and get the machine up and running.
Yeah, I've got a CAD/CAM system which I use for programming, and now we know how the weight codes and that work. It's fairly straightforward. It's not that difficult.
And when you've looked at Biglia and you looked at the other models, we looked at the configuration of the machine. Is this something for your business that you can see in the future, you maybe taking away some more of your 2-axis and 3-axis lathes and adopting this strategy?
Yeah, already thinking about that already. So yeah.
Because how much is this machine running? Tell us how. Lights out, 24/7. What are you doing?
Yeah, we're running lights out on where it's got the sort of work you can do that with nice materials, free cutting. There's no reason why it can't run 24 hours a day, and for the work we're doing at the moment, that's what it's doing, and weekends unmanned.
And what is the biggest bar capacity you can get through this machine? Is it the 65 mil?
Yeah, it's 65 mil bar capacity.
And do you go up to that, or will you be going up to that thing?
We have done. We've put 2.5-inch stainless in there, which we've just finished a job doing that. Again, cycle times were greatly improved.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much.